Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Kishshana Palmer, your fabulous fundraiser and social good matchmaker. And this morning, I'm going to be talking with you briefly about something that has been hitting my inbox like crazy over the last couple of weeks. Folks are curious about crowdfunding, and specifically crowdfunding like GoFundMe or any of the crowdsourcing apps that you would use to be able to raise money from lots of people. In your network. And so I thought it was really important for us to talk this morning about that because you guys, I've been seeing some stuff out there that really, really sucks. So I'm going to help you this morning figure out how to launch a crowdsourcing campaign that is awesome and does not suck. And so I have some tips on how to set up your campaign for your organization to make sure that you're able to be pulling in all the financial resources you need and getting the most eyeballs on your campaign. All right, so first up, the first thing that I see that's not happening that I want you guys to start doing today is number one, research and prepare. I was looking around the internet and looking at different articles and things on crowdsourcing. And the thing that stood out to me the most from all of the crowdsourcing apps out there, of which there are over hundreds of them, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's so many to choose from, is that crowdsourcing campaigns are the most successful when the organizers took an average of 2 weeks to research them and research what they want to be able to use, the pros and the cons, all of the bennies, and then decide on what crowdsourcing application they're going to use and what exactly they're going to be talking about. That's important, you guys, because oftentimes a lot of the GoFundMe that I see and other types of crowdsourcing apps that I see are around something that's very episodic. So unfortunately, somebody died, we need funeral costs. Unfortunately, somebody needs to be hospitalized, and so we need to mobilize. Those are really great things. But when you step into using that same platform as an organization, you have to be really, really specific about what you're going to be asking for support around. And so you've got to really do your research to make sure you're using the application that's going to be able to get you where you need to go. So that's first up. Number one, research and prepare. Number two, ask for donations early. And so don't wait until you are 3 weeks away from your deadline for whatever initiative you want to do for your organization and then start asking for donations. That is not going to work because people need time to be able to ingest, and you've got to get back in front of folks more than one time. And so you want to really make sure that you are able to do your research, ask for donations early. And there's just so much happening in the crowdsourcing space. And so most of the most successful crowdsourcing campaigns get everything done in their first 3 days of the campaign and in their last 3 days of the campaign. So you want to make sure you're really structuring it so that you're able to get the most eyeballs in front of your campaign. All right. The third thing that I want to say this morning is you've got to ask the right people for donations. All right. Now, when you have a cause, everybody is not going to support your cause. And you guys, that is okay. So you've got to really think about who are the types of folks who would support you, what drives them, what motivates them, what interests them broadly, what's happening in their ether over life that they would make them say, yes, I really want to support this cause, or I really want to support this person who is championing this cause. And so being able to ask the right people for donations is critical because you've got to be able to get folks who are your supporters galvanized to be able to give you money. And oftentimes, if you do it right, those same folks will give you money time and time again. Look, I have done it too. If I'm really excited about a cause, and I see that GoFundMe go up, today's on a Tuesday, I get really excited. I put my $50 behind that. If I see that GoFundMe again, and I'm going to be curious, I'm going to go back and look at the goal and see what's going on. And if I'm excited about what's happening and I want to add to the momentum, I am more likely to give again, particularly if I see that other folks are excited about it as well. And I am a part of that strong and supportive donor base. And so that strategy, making sure you know the people who you want to ask for donations and you are specifically targeting them, is way, way more effective than going out and just blanketing the masses. Okay, so that's another thing. Let's try a couple more. Another thing that I have seen and want to just make sure that we just strike from the record and do this right. Be specific about what the money is going toward. It drives me bonkers when I see any kind of crowdsourcing that feels whatever you can give would be great. Whatever little bit you can give goes a long way. Cut it out. That is what I call the tin cup mentality. If you could just spare me a little change, sir, a little bread. No. You deserve that money for your cause because your cause is important, and you've got to assert that when in your ask, and you've got to be specific about what you want people to support. So if you are a youth sports organization and you need to be able to get new equipment for your kids for the fall, then you've got to be able to say $50 goes towards helmets, $100 goes towards cleats, $150 goes towards new mats for the exercise room. $200 goes towards this workout equipment. Whatever it is, if you are specific, particularly if you have specific needs about the kinds of things that folks are giving their money to, they are going to be more likely to be able to click because they're like, yes, I know exactly where my money's going. It feels very clear to me. Where do I sign up? And so vague crowdfunding, whoosh, out the door. It's gotta go. So be specific about what the money is going toward. All right. Another thing that I really love doing, gifts are my love language, you guys. So I love to receive a good present. So I believe that you should offer incentives when you can to your supporters in your campaign. And so what does that mean? You can get really creative. It could be thank you cards from the kids in your organization if you have a youth serving organization. It can be t-shirts. It can be cups and hats. It can be handmade crafts. It could be coaching sessions if that's your organization does work like that. Free tickets to a show that you were able to get, whatever. If you're able to offer some incentives for folks giving, because crowdsourcing is different than going out and having a one-on-one conversation with an individual supporter, you might find that you'll have a boost in your ability to get your campaign completely funded if you have a little bit of an incentive. And actually, you guys, it encourages your donors to give more. And so, for example, if you have different tiers of giving. So for example, if you give to my campaign at the $75 level, you will receive a thank you of this hat, scarf, glove, whatever. If you give a gift of $250 for my campaign, you'll receive a gift of, first round of tickets to whatever play or show, because that's what you have to give, and so forth and so on. And so it connects donors to your cause and also gives them a really good way to remember you and remember your campaign. Just make sure that you're just not choosing, boring, dry, bland giveaways people are going to throw in the garbage. Make sure that your incentives align to the types of things that your crowd, your folks, the people you've picked would be excited about, not just swag that they're going to throw in the garbage. Y'all still with me? All right. Hope your pens are out, okay? So, the next thing up that I've seen, can y'all still stop writing this crazy copy? And by copy, I mean what you are actually fundraising for. We need some compelling copy, okay? I'm just scrolling through my timeline, looking at Facebook, and here's your campaign popping into my space. Great. And so I am actually a fundraiser, so I love seeing this. So I am the person that will read everything. I'm not your person, okay? I actually read everything. But when I do click in, I'm horrified. Spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, or even worse, statistics. You guys, people do not give to statistics. People give to people, which means you have got to make it really crystal clear that Kishshana is giving to Billy. Okay, that Kishshana is helping Billy out. Kishshana is making sure Billy gets all of his sports equipment for the fall. Kishshana is making sure that Jessica is going to be able to get tutoring in the fall. Whatever. You've got to tell a compelling story about how the work that you are doing and the gift that donor is making are tied, just linked up, and that you can't do it without them. You can't do it without me, the donor. And so you've got to be able to have really compelling copy. And that's where I see organizations fall down time and time again. Your copy is dry. It is bland. It's like 1 in 6 kids in the nation suffer from fill in the blank thing. It's a true fact. It's an important thing. It's not a soul tie. It doesn't really get to my heart. It doesn't tell me that every morning little Marcus wakes up, and when he goes into the kitchen, he bangs around the cupboards looking for maybe a trial box of cereal that might have gotten left behind from the last time his mom took him to the soup kitchen. Totally different story than 1 in 6 kids do not eat breakfast in the morning, and eating at school might be their only meal of the day or whatever, okay? So it just gives you that different spin. So making sure that your campaign does not sound like everybody else's and that it's a really compelling story specific to that donor is really critical. Last but not least, update your crowdfunding page. Unlike a fundraising event, a gala, a night out, whatever you may have it that comes and goes in one day, oftentimes crowdsourcing campaigns go on for a long amount of time, right? So they can go on for a few weeks, they can go on for a few months. And so you've got to keep that stuff fresh. That means new pictures. That means new stories. That means updating folks to things that have changed. That means letting your donors and folks you want to invite to be your donors know that there's a lot of work to be done, and you're giving them hard-hitting, really compelling visuals and stories about what's new now and next, so that you are refreshing that campaign and so that you get it back in front of me time and time again. So first I talked about Marcus, then I looked about Jeff, then I looked about Anthony, then I looked about Brian, and I'm learning about all these different young men who are working with this athletic organization to get to college. And that's why we need to raise that money. So keeping your campaign fresh. Okay. I kind of went through that. This was like my quick and dirty before I get my day started with my clients. And so I'm going to recap it for you again. In order to be able to have a kick-ass crowdsourcing campaign, we're going to do a few things really well. You ready? First, research and prepare. Got that? Get your mind right. Second, ask for donations early. Do not wait until the last minute to get your life together. Okay? All right. Ask the right people for donations. Everything is not for everybody, so make sure you find your people, and those are the folks you target. Be specific about what the money is going toward. Don't just say, oh, if you just help our organization grow so we can help all the babies. No way, no one's giving. That's why your GoFundMe's dry. Offer incentives when you can. Don't spend money you do not. So that's why I said when you can. And if you do incentives, make sure they're the types of things that your donors want. Write compelling copy. Boring, dry, bland has got to go. No one cares about your statistics. They care about the people. They care about the animals. They care about the one-to-one experience. They want to connect with you and with that person or that thing. And so make sure you make that connection. And then keep your page updated. Keep us interested, keep us active and engaged in it. And last but not least, make sure you say thank you time and time again. The thing that gets folks to give and give again is when they feel appreciated, they feel thanked, and they know where their money is going. All right, y'all. It's Kishshana Palmer, your fabulous fundraiser, coming to you this morning with some advice on how to do a kick-ass crowdsourcing campaign. You can learn about that and more in my new course, 501c Profit. And so make sure you go and check that out, 501cseeprofit.com. Get my free social good checklist and sign up for my course. I look forward to talking to you guys again real soon. All right, have a great day.